Welcome back to the 9th Gym program, and we're back with non-restricted Pokemon Guide series, going into the Series 9 format that mirrors essentially the Series 7 format without restricted Pokemon. We are starting it off with Pheromosa. Pheromosa is a pretty cool Pokemon. Bug fighting type is really unique. It's very solid. It has a lot of really good stats, but also a lot of really bad stats. You know, it's very, very frail, so it's really just like a Focus Sash Pokemon, or even Choice Scarf if you just want to be fast. And then you also have speed and attack, very, very solid. Or special attack if you want to go that route instead, but this build does go attack. Even though we use some special attacking moves, it's not really for the damage. So, yeah. Anyway, Pheromosa is a pretty cool Pokemon, bug fighting type, giving you 1 quad weakness of flying, and then 3 regular weaknesses of fire, psychic, and fairy. These honestly don't matter too much. You're going to be getting 2-shot from everything because of Focus Sash, so honestly its resistances and weaknesses don't really matter. But you also have 5 resistances: grass, fighting, ground, bug, dark. Pretty cool typing. Pretty weird, not that good honestly, but it's pretty cool. Offensively, it's pretty solid. You know, fighting is very strong offensively, so that's good. Bug has some good things like U-turn, like strong U-turn moves. It's not bad overall. It's just not bad, honestly. Beast Boost is pretty good of an ability. You know, you take a knockout and then you boost up your strongest stat, which is going to be speed. It's not going to be taking, you know, too many knockouts because we are going to be using Pheromosa supportively in Series 9, or at least with the build today. Maybe we'll make an offensive one in the future. But, yeah, for now, it's just going to be supportive using things like Coaching and Icy Wind, Taunt potentially. A lot of really good moves that Pheromosa has access to are supportive. As far as these stats go, like I said, it's incredibly frail. Our HP at 71, defense and special defense both at 37. This thing is not, you know, really going to be living anything. We will be using Focus Sash to make it so, you know, it doesn't just immediately die from everything. But, yeah, don't expect to live a lot. Speed is very, very good at 151, amazing speed stat, and then its special attack and attack both are 137, so it's pretty versatile. You can use it special attacking or physical attacking, but using that close combat, I wanted to just go all into attack and speed, as you'll see here in the build in one moment. That is about it for the overview. Let's go ahead and get into the build itself for today's video. Series 9, Pheromosa. We are running with Focus Sash, like I said. You know, you do have other options. You can go Choice Scarf if you want, or even maybe a berry, maybe going for like Cobra Berry to minimize that weakness down. Assault Vest could be cool, but like I said, it's incredibly frail, so I feel like Assault Vest won't even really impact it much. You're still going to get O-code by anything super effective that's special attacking, so I just wanted to go Focus Sash and lean into the attack and speed. I think most players will do that as well, or even special attack if they go for a special attacking build. Pheromosa, ability Beast Boost, you're not going to change that. It doesn't have a different ability, so that's all you get. You are stuck with it. Maybe if it had like Prankster or something, that'd be crazy, but oh well, we have Beast Boost. It's okay. It's not bad. As far as the moves go for this set, we are going with Close Combat, Coaching, Icy Wind, and Protect. I thought this worked really well for the set. Close Combat is its best offensive move, in my opinion. It's very solid. It hits a lot of things very, very well. You know, you hit Porygon 2, which is going to be very big in Series 9. You also hit Incineroar for a lot of damage, which obviously is going to be very big in Season 9. So, all around, just really, really good stuff there for Pheromosa. Coaching is kind of the main thing for this Pokemon. You know, being able to use a fast Coaching is very, very good. We've seen things like Riolu use Coaching in the past to, you know, with Prankster to be able to boost the special attack or the physical attack of your Pokemon. So Coaching is really, really good with that. It's kind of the reason we're using this Pokemon, honestly. It's attack and defense, so it also makes your Pokemon a little bit more bulky as well, which is really, really good. You know, hitting your physical attacking Pokemon, things like Glastrier, Metagross, Thundurus, Lando, Cinderace. There's a bunch of good physical attacking Pokemon in this format, and, you know, fast Coaching works really well for that. And not only doing damage, you know, in damage boosting, we also have Icy Wind for speed lowering from our opponent. Icy Wind being able to hit both opponents' Pokemon for a little bit of damage, but also getting that -1 speed, which is the reason we use it. It's also really strong against Landorus, taking a 2-shot against, you know, uninvested into defense or non-Dynamax Landos, which a lot of Landos will not be Dynamaxing. A lot of Landos do Dynamax in Series 9, Series 7, but still, Icy Wind hits, 40, 50%, 60% potentially onto a, non-Dynamaxed Lando, which is pretty good. And then Protect as well, just on the set, I think it's fine. Protect, you get some extra turns with Pheromosa. It's just good. You get coaching up on turn 1, and then you Protect. Your opponent's like, well, I got to kill this Pheromosa before they coach again. And then you're just like, ha, gotcha. And then you go in with your coaching Pokemon. It's a pretty good time. So that's the 4 moves that I went for this build. But there are a lot of other good moves that are very solid for Pheromosa. It has some good coverage like Poison Jab, Throat Chop, Triple Axel. That does a good bit of damage and is just pretty relevant for damage. You could go for like a Life Orb attacking build with those, like some of those moves, but like I said, it's just so frail. It's not really worth Dynamaxing or anything. You just want to focus Sash and just like support. But as far as supportive moves go, there are a lot of those as well. We have things like Speed Swap, which is really good for weird things like Glastrier. Coaching and Speed Swap could be really, really good on a Glastrier team. You also have Taunt to get rid of, the Trick Rooms that are impending, which is very, very good. You have Feint to break Protects and then take big knockouts with like non-Dynamax Pokemon potentially as well, which is really cool. You have Quick Guard as well, which is really solid, on the correct team. Can be good, making it so your opponent can't do those priority moves. Grassy Glide, they can't Grassy Glide your Kyogre. We don't have Kyogre anymore. They can't Grassy Glide your Primarina or your Milotic, so that's a really good thing to have. And then we also have the U-Turn, which is kind of a supportive move, but not really. It's kind of just like a pivot. But, it gets stabbed from Bug for Pheromosa, so it's pretty good. And it actually does a lot of damage to things like Rillaboom. So, yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more in the damage calc portion. But for now, that's about it for the guide. Let's go ahead and talk about the synergetic Pokemon down here in the bottom right. So, Glastrier, Metagross, they're pretty much the same thing. Obviously they're not the same Pokemon, but really what it is Pheromosa likes to be on a team with a good physical attacking Pokemon to use coaching with, and Icy Wind and Speed Swap potentially. So those Pokemon go pretty well, pair pretty well with it. Glastrier, Metagross, things like that. We also have obviously all these other good physical Pokemon: Stakataka, Cinderace, Dragapult. Very good Tyranitar, a lot of just very good physical attacking Pokemon in this format. So yeah, it works. Any of those Pokemon work with it. And then to add on to the support for these good physical attacking Pokemon, with Thundurus, just anti-intimidate support, making it so your opponent doesn't really want to use their intimidate on your team, which is really good. Coaching being able to get rid of that intimidate, but if you can just prevent it from the start by having Thundurus on your lead or on your team, your opponent's going to be like, well, I don't really want to do this, so I'm just not gonna. So that's hopefully kind of the counterplay with the Thundurus. And then we also have the Tapu Fini, of course, Misty Surge being able to prevent burns and sleep, which is very, very good for your physical attacking Dynamax sweepers. So that's really what it is there. It also has Haze. You can use things like Life Orb, Glastrier with Pheromosa, Speed Swap, Coaching, and then, your Tapu Fini with Haze to potentially just stop weakness policy things from killing your Glastrier. It's just a good time with Pheromosa. A physical attacking Pheromosa team is pretty solid, and that's kind of the core that I would go with. Pheromosa, Thundurus, Tapu Fini, good physical attacking Pokemon, one more supportive Pokemon probably, and then one more actually good offensive Pokemon that's, probably a special attacking. That's the route that I would go if I wanted to use Pheromosa, so that's what I'm recommending. Anyway, that is it for the guide itself. Let's go ahead and talk about some speed tiers and then damage calcs and then single spotlight. So first off, we got speed tiers. Pheromosa is incredibly fast. In this format, especially with Zacian getting pushed out of the format, Pheromosa goes back up to the top end of the format, very, very easily. Tailwind will be pretty, big in the format. We have Tornadus and Whimsicott both being pretty big, significant roles in the format with Prankster Tailwind. But Pheromosa still outspeeds a very, very large amount of Pokemon, especially, without those Tailwind boosts or anything. Pheromosa is 223 with max investment, which is really, really fast, outspeeding things like Dragapult, the Dracovish, Tapu Koko, Thundurus, Kartana, Nihilego, Mimikyu, Lando T. All these incredibly speedy Pokemon, Pheromosa just dusts, which is really, really good. They will get outsped by a couple things like Lando T with Choice Scarf, which is pretty, unpopular, but could be a little more popular in Series 9, who knows. And then, of course, Venusaur, Excadrill, your Kingdra, all of your weather Pokemon will be outspeeding it, but of course, that's what they do. They're built to be speed. They're like Lightning McQueen. They're speed. Anyway, that is it for the speed tiers. Pheromosa is very solid on speed tiers. As far as damage calcs go, it's a little weird here because, like I said, it's incredibly frail, and we're using Focus Sash, so you're pretty much just getting two-shotted by everything, or one-shotted by, that something very fast, and then also, like, Grassy Glide from Rillaboom, like something priority. But, yeah, so they're all just going to be offensive here. So first off, Icy Wind from Pheromosa into a 4 HP, 0 investment Lando T, hitting 53 to 65, which is guaranteed to a KO. So if you hit uninvested non-Dynamax Lando T's, you're taking a two-hit KO while putting out speed control, which is really, really good. So Pheromosa does have a good matchup against Lando T most of the time, and if you slap, coaching on it, then you can get rid of Intimidates and take out big knockouts, and it's just a good time. So that's a really cool matchup that is good. Speaking of good matchups with big Pokemon, we have Incineroar next, -1 252 attack Pheromosa close combat into a 244 HP, 68 physical defense Incineroar, the -1 from the Intimidate. We are taking 71 to 84%, which is a guaranteed 2-hit KO. If they don't Intimidate, like if you bring out Pheromosa after their Incineroar and they don't switch around, then you are going to be taking a knockout, which is very, very incredible. So yeah, having a good matchup with the two most popular Pokemon of the game, or like two of the most popular Pokemon of the game, Incineroar and Lando, is very, very good. Other good matchups include the Rillaboom, 252 HP, 4 defense Rillaboom from our 252 attack Pheromosa U-turn into it is taking a 64 to 78%, which is a lot of damage. Of course, it will be switching out, so you won't be able to just take that 2-hit KO pretty easily, but you will be able to do a lot of damage with that, and then maybe a max airstream from your other Pokemon, or just, other strong Pokemon attacks into that Rillaboom will be able to take that knockout before it really does much. It might get a Grassy Glide off or something like that, or a knockoff, but you will be doing a lot of damage to it right off the bat, which is really, really good. And then next we have 252 attack Pheromosa close combat into a Glastrier, 252 HP, 0 physical defense. This is non-Dynamax, so hopefully you can catch it on its switch in or anything. But even if it is Dynamax, you're still doing 40 to 50%, which is really, really good. Like a huge chunk out of Glastrier. It will be activating its weakness policy, but that's okay because we're still doing a massive chunk onto that Pokemon, which is really, really good. And then, but yeah, if you catch it on its switch in, so it's not Dynamax, you are hitting 82 to 98%, which is almost a guaranteed OHKO, or almost a chance at an OHKO, but it's a guaranteed 2-hit KO, which is still really, really good. Of course, if you hit it on the tail end after it's Dynamax, it will probably have some +1s in defense from its Steel Spikes, but still a lot of damage to be done on Glastrier, which is going to be another top 10 Pokemon in the format, most likely, projected. With projected results from Series 7, Series 9 is going to include a lot of P2 and Glastrier combos and Glastrier and Dusclops, so it's really good to have that. Next, speaking of P2, our 252 attack Pheromosa close combat into a 244 HP, 92 defense, Eviolite Porygon 2. It's a little random of a spread, but it gets the point across that we're still doing a lot of damage through Eviolite and a good bit of defensive investment. We are hitting 73.2 to 87.9%, which is a guaranteed 2-hit KO. A lot of damage to be done, even though close combat will -1 our defenses. It's still just doing so much damage, and that's really, really incredible into that Pokemon, which is good. Next, we have the Pheromosa close combat into a Stack Attack as well. Hopefully, we can catch it on its switch in, but if it leads it, goes for a Protect, and its side Pokemon goes for Trick Room, then it might get a little out of hand. But if we can read a close combat into its, switch in, then we're just taking an OHKO, which is insane. 135 to 159, which is guaranteed OHKO into that. Even if we do hit its Dynamaxed form, without Trick Room up or anything, we are hitting an insane amount of damage. 135 and half is still 68, quick math. Is that right? Yeah, 68-ish. 68 to 80%, which is still a huge amount of damage on a Dynamax Stack Attacker because it just has so many quad weaknesses, and Pheromosa hits those quad weaknesses, or at least one of them, which is really, really good. So yeah, that's our Dynamax, or that's our damage calcs, which is actually really, really good, in my opinion. A lot of them, because this Pokemon isn't really focused on damage. Its damage output is actually really insane against 6 really, really relevant Pokemon. 5 arguably, because Stack Attacker doesn't see a lot of play, but still pretty cool. Anyway, let's talk about Single Spotlight real quick before I end the video. So you could go for like an all-out attacking Choice Band or Life Orb kind of, build for Pheromosa. But I went for like a pivoting offensive with Rapid Spin and Heavy Duty Boots to get rid of your entry hazards, which is really, really good. Being able to bring this Pokemon in, a fast rapid spin and then being able to U-turn out while your opponent's just like trying to switch out to just like easily take out Pheromosa or like, you know, whatever Pokemon may come next. U-turn is just really solid, and rapid spin is great. And then we have close combat as well, doing a lot of damage, and then triple Axel as a good just coverage move. Triple Axel does a lot of damage and it's very solid on this Pokemon. I like it a lot. Heavy duty boots works pretty well for this Pokemon. You get to go in, you know, get rid of those stealth rocks, which is pretty cool. I like it. As far as the build, or as far as the spread go, it's incredibly basic. 252 plus into speed, and then 252 attack, being that jolly nature, just so it can be as fast as possible, which is kind of what we want to do with that. And then you can honestly put your for investment really wherever. I put it in defense, but like I said, you know, HP, defense, special defense, it doesn't really matter for this Pokemon because it's so incredibly frail. And without Focus Sash, you're not really living much. So just keep that in mind. But still, Pheromosa is cool in singles. Probably not that good, honestly. Better in VGC than in singles, in my opinion. But still, you got options. And it can be cool in singles. And it can be really cool in VGC. Anyway, that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Makes a huge difference. It really does. Hope you have a good week. And goodbye.